Why charge Alec Baldwin with involuntary manslaughter and not something less?
Well, because it actually fits the statute, if you look at the statute, but he was actually the producer on this film. He was present on scene. He's an actor who's probably starred in 40-plus gun movies, so he's very familiar. And he said, I believe, in reports and interviews that he's very familiar with the use of guns. The gun was not checked by him or with the armor, which is standard protocol where you may not have to check it himself, but he's supposed to check it with her. And had he done that, and of course not pointed a firearm at somebody that rules of the firearm, you don't point a gun at somebody unless you're intending to actually shoot them. And he did all those things, which ultimately resulted in Halyna Hutchins' death.
What tipped the scale and made this a felony case?
Well, to us, it was because the conduct overall by him and Hannah Gutierrez and David Halls was reckless.
There's been a lot of questions about how the weapon was fired. Alec Baldwin says he never pulled the trigger, that he just released the hammer of the gun. What did your findings come up?
Well, that he definitely pulled the trigger, and that's confirmed by the FBI report.
You believe Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger?
Yes.
And aimed it at Halyna Hutchins?
Not intentionally, trying to hurt her or anything, but I believe his conduct was reckless, and he did do that.
Do you believe Alec Baldwin should go to prison?
It's not my call right now to believe whether he goes to prison or not. Our focus is to get justice for Halyna Hutchins and to let everybody know that just because you're an A-list actor, you're not going to be above the law.
Why charge Hannah Gutierrez-Reed?
Because she was the armorer on the set, and she should have been checking the bullets, checking the guns, checking everything multiple times, never handing it to anyone unless she had personally made sure that all of those bullets were actually dummies. And she clearly didn't do that here. There were also at least 5 other bullets found on the set. They shouldn't have been there, and she should have caught that. That's her job. She should have caught that. And the fact that she didn't means that she gets charged with this.
Do you think they're both equally culpable here?
I do.
Dave Halls handed the weapon to Alec Baldwin. He yelled out "cold gun" when it was in fact loaded with a bullet. Should he only have probation?
When we really started looking at the case, it wasn't obvious that he did say cold gun, and it wasn't obvious that he actually was the one that handed it to Baldwin. He may have looked at the gun, which he did, but we can't even say for sure that he actually touched that firearm.
What's Dave Halls' role in this? Is he willing to testify against Alec Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed?
He will testify. Well, we looked at that aspect because everyone seemed very concerned with how did live rounds get on the set, and unfortunately that may be a question we're never going to be able to answer.
This was something that was more than mere negligence. It was people acting recklessly, people not doing their jobs, people not following safety protocols, not following safety standards, and violating all of the standards that we all have to follow if we have a gun in our hands. And so because of that, I would say this is not just an accident. This is a criminal accident. Prison is not necessarily the goal. What I want is justice for Halyna Hutchins, and I want people to take responsibility and take accountability for what their actions or inactions led to, and that's Halyna Hutchins' death.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.